Hello dear students. So today we are going to start our unit 3, and in unit 3 the first topic of discussion will be the Biot-Savart's law. Okay. So the first topic is Biot-Savart's law. So you might be familiar with this law because you might have studied this in the earlier class, but we will discuss it again and see the applications in determining the magnetic field intensity. So what does it states? So Biot-Savart's law states that the differential magnetic field intensity dH at any point P due to the differential current element IDL is proportional to the product IDL and the sine of the angle alpha between the element and the line joining P to the element, and is inversely proportional to the square of the distance r between P and that element. Okay, so I'll try to explain this with the help of, so let us say this is a current carrying conductor. Okay, and let us choose an element. Okay, let's say this is the element dl. Okay, and we have to calculate the electric field intensity at this point P. Okay, now so for this differential element dl, the magnetic field intensity H will also be dH, that is differential, and let the line joining this differential element dl to the point at which, to the point P at which the intensity is required to be estimated is R. Okay, and the angle between this element and the R is alpha. Okay, so what did this Biot-Savart's law states? It states that the differential magnetic field intensity dH at any point P due to the differential current element IDL. Okay, since I current is passing through DL, so the differential current element is IDL. This intensity, DH is proportional to what? It is proportional to IDL. Okay, product ideal and the sine of the angle alpha. So DH is also proportional to the sine of this angle alpha. Okay, between the element and the line joining P to that element. Okay, and is inversely proportional. TH is inversely proportional to the square of this distance. So distance is also inversely proportional to r square. So if we combine this, then we get this dH is proportional to IDL sine alpha and upon r square. Okay, and if we replace this proportionality sign with the equal to sign, then you know that some constant will appear, and let's say that is the constant k. So ki dl sine alpha upon this r square. Okay, where k is where k is the constant of proportionality, constant of proportionality, and in this k equals to 1 upon 4 pi. Okay, so so now this so now this dh so now this dh will be what? This dh will be I dl sine alpha upon 4 pi r square. Okay, now if we try to write this in vector form, okay, so how can we write? If we try to write this relation in the vector form, so we can write it like this. How can we write? You can write it this IDL cross AR, because you know that in the cross product sine of the angle appears. Okay, so this sine alpha IDL cross AR means in the direction of R, if we write the unit vector AR, okay, upon this 4 pi r square. Now some of you might not be understanding this, because you might be thinking that where this sine alpha went. Okay, so you know that in the two vector products, if a vector b, a cross b is there, then we write it a magnitude of a into magnitude of b into sine of theta between them. So here also we have done the considered the reverse process. Okay, so now this dh can be written as I dl cross r. If we replace this ar, okay, this ar can be replaced by what? R vector upon r magnitude. Okay, so in this way we can write this dl idl cross r upon 4 pi r cube. Okay, so this dh can be represented in this is a vector form. This one is the vector form. So the direction of dh can be determined by the right hand rule. Okay, this direction can be determined by the right hand rule. So this is in terms of the current element. Okay, now if we want to represent this Biot-Savart's law, Biot-Savart's law in terms of the distributed current sources, the distributed current sources. Okay, so in terms of the distributed current sources, Biot-Savart's law can be represented as this H equals to, first of all, this we have seen ideal cross AR on this 4 pi r square. Now from where this integration sign appeared, because previously it was dh, so if we integrate on both sides, then dh will be your h, and in the right side integration sign will appear, and this one is for the line current, what we saw just now. Okay, now for the surface current, if we talk about, then in place of this ideal, what will appear? This kds cross ar upon 4 pi r square. Okay, and this is for the surface current. Okay, and for the volume current, H equals to V J dV cross AR upon this 4 pi R square. And this is for the volume current. Okay. So what is this K and J? K and J are the surface and volume current densities respectively. Okay. This K and J are the surface and volume current densities respectively. Okay, so in this way we can have the representation of this Biot-Savart's law in terms of the different types of distributed current sources. That is, for line current this will be applicable, for surface current this will be applicable, and for volume current this relation will be applicable. Now the next topic is the magnetic field intensity at any point due to a straight conductor. Okay, we have to derive the magnetic field intensity, that is H. Okay, at any point due to straight conductor, due to the straight conductor. Okay, so now let us consider so let this be the z-axis. Okay, and let this be the point. Okay, where we have to calculate the electric field intensity H. Okay, now consider a straight conductor AB. Now let us consider a straight conductor AB. This is a straight conductor AB lying on the z-axis. Okay, now we'll choose an element. We'll choose a small element dl on this conductor AB. Okay, so let us assume that this lower end and the upper end both makes an angle of alpha 1 and alpha 2 with the line joining this lower and upper ends of the straight conductor makes alpha 1 and alpha 2 with the z-axis. Okay, now let us suppose the coordinate of this point as 0 0 z. Okay, so it means that this height is z. Okay, and this one is your rho. This one is your rho. So we are obviously following the rho, phi and z, that is the cylindrical coordinate system. So considering the contribution dh at p due to an element dl. Okay, so this dH at point P due to an element dl at 0 0 z. So 0 0 z is the coordinate of this differential element dl. Okay. Now this dH, according to the formula, this dH will be what? It is idl cross this r vector and upon this 4 pi r cube. Okay, but here what is dl? Dl is along the z axis, so this dl will be dz in the direction of az. Okay, what is r? R will be what? Rho a rho and minus z a z. Rho a rho minus z a z. Okay, how we are calculating this? Because see, this rho is increasing in this direction, okay, and z is increasing in this direction, and your r vector, this is your r vector. So this r vector is in this direction. So obviously this r, and it has to be inverted. Then this will be following this triangle rule. Okay, so rho arrow minus z a z. So this dl cross r will be how much? So it will be rho dz, and the direction will be a phi. Hence, let's say this is your equation 1. So hence, using your equation 1, this h can be determined by integrating. So we are integrating this. Okay, now in place of this I dl cross r, we will write I and rho dz a phi. So we are writing I rho dz, and the direction is a phi upon this 4 pi. And what is r cube? So in place of r magnitude, rho square plus z square to the power how much? 3 by 2. So this will be rho square plus z square to the power 3 by 2, and this we have missed. The direction is a phi. Okay, now we will put the substitution. So let z equals to, for solving this integration we are substituting z equals to rho cot alpha. So what will be dz? So dz will be minus rho cosec square alpha into d alpha. Okay, so then h will be how much? This h will be minus 1 upon 4 pi, and limit will be alpha 1 to alpha 2 in this rho square cosec square alpha d alpha upon rho cube cosec q alpha, and the direction is a phi. Okay, so if we solve this, so obviously what will there? This cosec square will cancel this cosec q, and the cosec alpha will be in the denominator. Similarly, this rho square will cut this. So 1 upon cosec is sine, and then 1 upon rho, so it will be sine alpha d alpha. So your h will be . H will be now minus I upon 4 pi rho A phi, and within integration it will be alpha 1 to alpha 2, and this is sine alpha d alpha. Okay, so we can write it like this: I upon 4 pi rho. This minus we can manage inside while solving this integration, and this will be cos alpha 2 minus cos alpha 1. Okay, and the direction will be this A phi. So this is the magnetic field intensity at the point P due to a straight conductor. Okay, now we'll discuss some special cases. Special case. Okay, so first special case is when the conductor is semi-infinite. When the conductor is semi-infinite. Okay, so if the conductor is semi-infinite, then point A will be at 0 0 0. Okay, and point B will be at what? 0 0 infinity. Okay, so let us assume a case. Let's say this is your conductor, and this point A is at 0 0 0 and B is at infinity. Okay, this B is at infinity, 0 0 infinity. Okay, so in this case, what will this angle? This alpha 1 and alpha 2. So obviously this alpha 1 will be equal to 90 degree. Okay, and alpha 2 will be equal to 0 degree. Okay, so if we put these conditions, alpha 1 equals to 90 degree, then cos 90 0, alpha 2 equal to 0 degree means cos 0 1. So what will the value of H? So this H will be how much? I upon 4 pi rho and this A phi. Okay, this will be your H. Okay, and the second condition is when conductor is infinite in length. When the conductor is infinite in length. So if it is infinite, then this A point will be at 0 0 minus infinity, means this A point will go down, and this B point will be at what? 0 0 infinity. Okay, so in that case your alpha 1 will be what? Alpha 1 will be 180 degrees. Okay, and alpha 2 will be 0 degree. If with this A point will go straight, then this, what will this angle? 180, and that angle will be 0. So in that case your H will be equal to I upon 2 pi rho and this along A phi. Okay, so this is the magnetic field intensity, and these are the two special cases for the straight conductor.